When you're game mastering, you're trying to do a lot of different things at once. You're giving descriptions, you're playing NPCs, you're adjudicating rules, you're trying to present your story, and switching back and forth between different kinds of tasks is fatiguing. So today I'm going to give you a mental tool to avoid some of that fatigue. Hey everyone, welcome to GM Genie, the channel that gives you the tips and techniques to take your GMing game out of the box and off the rails. One of the most fatiguing things about game mastering is people are constantly asking you questions. You know, you got your player questions, does the game world work this way? Even character actions are just questions in disguise. Can I impact this situation through this attack or this skill? And your head is up here in the big picture. You got a story you're trying to tell, you got all this stuff that the players don't even know about yet, and to answer their questions, you've got to go down into detail mode. And switching from big picture to small picture is fatiguing. In our daily lives, we don't always think about the energy it takes to switch from one kind of task to another, but there's actually a name for it. It's called switching cost. But it's a major issue in game mastering, where you're routinely speaking in and out of character, in and out of game. You're describing things to your players, you're reacting to their actions. You're moving from storytelling to mechanics. It can very easily lead to the kind of fatigue where your thoughts are running slow, your game is running slow, you're not having as much fun as you hoped. You've been there, I've been there, and what I want to propose to you in this video is that one of the worst and most avoidable forms of switching cost is actually that transition from big picture to small picture. And I'm talking about when your player has an unconventional approach to a problem, and you're tempted to get hung up thinking about, what is every exact detail of game world physics governing how that would work? Or when a player suggests some small game world element that he'd like to see as part of the genre, or for the sake of his character story, and you get hung up wondering what is every possible story ramification of this element. Or even when a player's just expressing himself through roleplay and you get thinking, that's kind of cheesy, I wouldn't have done it that way, because it's his character though. And you're using up brain power on these small picture things. Well, today I want to give you a mental tool, a system, to be able to engage those player ideas without having to take the trip from big picture story mode to small picture detail mode. I was directing a YouTube video the other day of my other channel, and as the director I was doing the big picture thing, thinking about the whole story. And my cameraman prop person asks me a question. Can the prop work this way? I don't even remember what the question was. It was something funny and creative, and it was a good idea, but I didn't have the bandwidth to engage with it. And because I had so much on my mind, I found that I was asking myself, is this going to impact any other shots in the video? Does this interfere with the story of the video? No? Okay, do it. Sounds great. And then immediately forgot what it was and went back to dealing with the script. Completely avoided that big picture to small picture switching cost, because I barely came out of big picture. Now I should also say that some of the questions he asked me that day, I said, no, that won't fit. And because I have the big picture and he doesn't, he didn't push it, but also because I have the big picture, I can't spare the bandwidth to go into any more detail about it. Just, no, won't fit. Now, I did this by accident, just from being overloaded, but I think this is a valid tool for engaging player questions, aka actions, when you're game mastering. Engage your players' questions strictly on the level of, does this change something that's essential to the story, or does it change something that's incidental to the story? Because those are really the only two categories, so you really only need two responses. If this would change something essential, then no, you can't. Or if it only changes something incidental, then I don't care. Go for it. Maybe I want to dress those responses up so that they're more civil and enthusiastic. I don't care becomes nice. And even if the idea is something that you love, you don't have time to get caught up in it. Just say, will it undermine anything else? No, I don't care. You have to respect your players. But you don't have to give every player idea the respect of taking up your brain power engaging it. So that's the tool. Don't use your brain power engaging the things that are incidental. Instead, when your players have a question, use a little bit of brain power to decide, is this essential or incidental? Because you get to decide what the essential parts of the story are. There are no wrong answers about this. The wrong answer is not having these categories and having to consider every idea as if it was essential. And brain fatigue is such a big pitfall of game mastering. I feel like this video is going to become part of some kind of series. Just energy saving techniques, not caring, things not to care about. But until then, what are some of your energy saving techniques that you use at the table? Leave them in the comments below, or a question of a topic you'd like me to cover. Be sure to subscribe for more game mastering tip videos every week or so. Happy gaming, I'll see you next time.